Madhava Kunda Bihari Radha Madhava Jaya Kunda Bihari Gopijana Vallabha Jaya Girivaradhari Jaya Gopijana Vallabha Jaya Girivaradhari Yashodanandana Braja Janaranjanam Yashodanandana Braja Janaranjanam Yamuna Tira Vanachari It's only showing my desktop. It is only showing my desktop. This is not coming, and second is internet is not coming. Connection. Okay. Internet?
Yeah, internet.
Okay. But it's not coming over there.
You project it to the screen.
Yeah. How do you do? Okay, 1 second. I'll show you. 1 second. Duplicate. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Jaya Radha Madhava Jaya Kunja Vihari Jaya Radha Madhava Jaya Kunja Vihari Jaya Gopijana Vallabha Jaya Girivaradhari Jaya Gopijana Vallabha Jaya Girivaradhari Yodanandana Brajajana Ranjanam Yashodanandana Braja Janaranjanam Yashodanandana Braja Janaranjanam Yamunatira Vanachari Radha Madhav Radha Madhav Radha Madhav Kunja Vihari Gopijana Vallabha Gopijana Vallabha Gopijana Vallabha Girivaradari Radha Madhava Kunja Vihari Gopijana Vallabha Girivaradari Radha Madhava Kunja Vihari Gopijana Vallabha Girivaradari Jaya Radha Madhav Jaya Gopijana Vallabha Jaya Girivaradari Yashodanandana Braja Janaranjanam Yashodanandana Braja Janaranjanam Yamunatira Vanachari Jaya Radha Madhava Jaya Kunja Vihari Shri Radha Gokulananda Bhagavan ki Jai Shri Panchatta Bhagavan ki Jai Srila Prabhupada ki Jai Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya Om Ajnanatimirandasya Jnananjana Shalakaya Chakshorvunmilitam Yena Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha Shri Chaitanya Manobhishtam Stapitam Yena Bhutale Swayam Rupa Kathamayam Dadati Swapadantikam Vandeham Shri Guru Shri Yuta Padakamalam Shri Gurun Vaishnavam Cha Shri Rupam Sagrajatam Sahagana Raghunadhanvitam Tam Sajivam Sadvaitam Savadutam Parijana Sahitam Krishna Chaitanya Devam Shri Radha Krishna Padan Sahagana Lalita Shri Vishakanvitamscha He Krishna Karuna Sindhu Dinabandho Jagatpate Gopesha Gopika Kanta Radha Kanta Namostute Tapta Kanchana Gaurangi Radhe Vrindavaneshwari Vrishabhanu Sute Devi Pranamami Hari Priye Vansha Kalpatarubhyascha Krupa Sindubhya Evacha Patitanam Pavanebhyo Vaishnavebhyo Namo Namaha Jai Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhara Shivasadi Gaura Bhakta Vrindam Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare Jnanatimrandasya Jnananjana Shalakaya Chakshuruntam Yena Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha Srila Prabhupada Ki Jai. So Hare Krishna. So we have 4 wonderful devotees sitting here. So let us discuss something from Srimad Bhagavatam, from 3rd canto. So the topic for today is explanation of devotional service by Lord Kapila, as he instructed his mother Devhuti. It's a beautiful chapter. There are so many wonderful lessons that we can learn. So, but I would like to thank all of you for attending this morning program and giving your association. I really appreciate. So, before we get to today's topic, let's do a little bit of background to this one. It's very wonderful narration. I'm sure you'll be able to thoroughly enjoy if you pay a little attention. Very nice chapter. So many wonderful instructions are there. So it all begins with Lord Brahma. So who is the first Manu in this day of Brahma? This is the question. Swayambhu Manu is the first Manu in this day of Brahma. And which Manu is running now currently? So is it 7th Manu? So in one day of Brahma, how many Manus come? 14 Manus come. How many? 14. Yeah? And how long is the Brahma's one day is? We know is 1000 Divya Yugas, or 4.32 billion years is one day. That is 12 hours of Brahma. In that 12 hours, 14 Manus come and go. So each Manu enjoys a lifespan of 1000 divided by 14. Nearly 71 Chaturyugas. Satya, Treta, Dwapar, Kali Yuga. So these cycles, how many they have to run? 71 cycles they have to go through. So that's one lifespan of Brahma. One lifespan of one Manu. So in this day of Brahma, the first Manu is Swayambhu Manu. You know, and how does anybody know how old is Brahma? Current Brahma or Brahma is? 50 past. And this is the 51st year running. Just like I'm 51 year old. But compared to him, 51st year, yes, is running now. So, so whenever there is a day of Brahma comes, because in the night everything is destroyed. Everything is inundated with water. Do you know that? Every night of Brahma, everything is destroyed. You know, Up to what planet it will be destroyed? Yes, we know there are 7 below. We know 7 below. And there are 6 above. We are in the middle. So this is Bhuloka. And then Bhuvarloka, Svarloka, Maharloka. Up to Svargaloka only it will be inundated with water. So the other 4 planets, Maharloka, Janaloka, Tapoloka, Satyaloka, they will not be inundated with water. They remain as it is. So from Dhruvaloka, below Dhruvaloka, or the Svargaloka till Patala, and everything will be inundated with water. Everything will be inundated with water. Yeah. The sun rays also do not go above the Svargaloka. Those 4 planets I mentioned, Maharloka, Janaloka, Tapoloka, Satyaloka, they are self-illuminated. They don't need our sunshine. This sun, they don't need our sun. Those planets are self-illuminated. So whenever when the night of Brahma comes, it will be inundated, and he goes to bed, and then in the morning he wakes up, then the creation has to start again. And he creates from his body various beings. And so he created number of sages, and he also created Swayambhu Manu, first Manu. Yeah. And he ordered Swayambhu Manu and his wife Shatarupa that progeny, populate, because his job is to produce, his creator. So, and Swayambhu Manu, he gave that job to Swayambhu Manu. But he also had another son. There are a number of sons, and one of the sons' name is Kardama. That is the story that comes in Kardama Muni. So he said, my dear son Kardama, please populate this world, produce children, good children, like you, not naughty children. You are very obedient to me. You have so many good qualities. Produce children of your character. Do not produce useless children. And then what did he do? So usually if we get an order, we would look for a girl or a partner. But Kardama decided to do austerity, execute meditation, purification. This was his mode. So this is Kardama. On the bank of river Saraswati. He went to the bank of river Saraswati. He meditated there for 10,000 years of demigod. Not hours, our years. How long? 10,000 years of demigods. Who meditated? Kardama Muni. Who is he? He is Brahma's son. So, who was he meditating upon? Upon Lord Vishnu, Krishna. Yeah. So, Lord Krishna or Vishnu, pleased with his meditation, he came there to see him personally, give his audience to Kardama Muni. And Kardama Muni offered beautiful prayers to Lord Vishnu. He drank the nectar through his eyes, looking at the beautiful form of the Lord, as so many wonderful prayers. He said, my Lord, I'm not a great devotee. I am a materialistic devotee. You know why? Because I actually worshipped you with the intention of getting a partner, a good partner. Usually devotional service is unmotivated. But, he's so humble. He's so elevated. so elevated, but that's why he's so humble. He said, I'm asking you like a materialistic devotee that, I'm looking for a suitable bride. And then he says, it's not for my enjoyment, because I have been ordered by Lord Brahma. And who was Lord Brahma was in turn ordered by you. So indirectly it's your instruction that I have to fulfill. So it's all in the thinking. It's all in the thinking, consciousness. So he said, don't worry. I've already arranged a girl for you. Just imagine, to find a suitable bride to you, execute for 10,000 years of austerity. And that too, he doesn't want to pick one. He doesn't want to pick one. See, in the Vedic tradition, they depend on the Lord's mercy. When there is something comes, we don't depend. Like we try to use our own intelligence. I see day in and day out in my life. I can't tell about others. But I just try to use my own intelligence to solve the Lord. No problem. And, within few days, Manu, Swayambhu Manu, emperor of the entire world, emperor, comes with his daughter. What's the daughter's name? Devahuti. And he will hand over his daughter to you. She is a suitable bride. She has all the good qualities that you are looking for. And he says, you will have 9 daughters in our home. And at the end, you will also have a son. Who is that son? That's non-different from me. I will appear as your son. I'm very pleased with your devotion. You will have 9 daughters and at the end, son. Me as your son. And then he left that place. Lord Vishnu left that place. And later, as instructed by Lord Lord Krishna, within a few days, Swayambhu Manu came with his beautiful daughter Devahuti. And so Manu spoke. Manu actually offered obeisances. Manu is a Kshatriya. He is an administrator. But Kardama is a Brahman. It all depends on the 2 things, isn't it? What are the 2 things? Our ashram or varna. Varna is which varna we belong to, which caste we belong to. Depends on 2 things. Guna, our quality, and then karma. What are we doing it? What kind of activity we are doing it? So it all depends on these 2 things. So I may be, by birth I may be Vaishya. But what am I doing? What am I doing? Like a Shudra job, working for someone else. we have different roles. So Kardama was a Brahmin and Manu was Kshatriya. And that's why he offered obeisances to Kardama. And he said he wanted to offer his own daughter. And, Kardama accepted, but one condition. This is again wonderful instruction that we have to learn. I'm happy to marry your daughter. She's so beautiful. She is good match in every respect. Suitable age and good character. They were looking for 2 things mainly. Mainly character. If you see, Kardama Muni was a ascetic, living on the bank of river Ganges. He doesn't have a palace. But he was, you see, like Manu, he was an emperor of entire world. And he's ready to offer his own daughter. He did not see the wealth. He saw the wealth of good character in Kardama Muni. These days, people look at externals first and get deceived, just like Putana. Putana, she deceived. Even Mother Yashoda and Rohini Maya, Nanda Baba, they kept quiet. Nanda Baba was not there. Rohini and Yashoda were there when she, came to Gokula, appearing like an angel, beautiful angel. So people look at the externals, but as our intelligence gets stronger, we look at the internal quality, character. He said, one condition, I get married, no problem. One condition. Can anybody guess what the condition is?
After the birth of my child, I will practice austerity.
I will leave home. After the children are born, I will leave home. So he is planning, before entering into Gruhastha life, he is planning the Vanaprastha. That was the plan. I think, I don't know when my household life ends. It never finishes. He had that plan. That is the only condition that I put forward. You should not object when I leave home. So then, yes, they got married. This was the marriage ceremony, and after that, Kardama, although he was ascetic, he produced an aerial mansion. Just imagine, in that mansion there are lakes, there are flower gardens, a big, huge, wonderful description of this. There are thousands of maidservants. Sofas, cushions, everything is made up of jewels. So he had that aerial mansion. He flew on that aerial mansion around in the valleys of Mandara mountain. They enjoyed. And at the end, he produced 9 daughters in the womb of Devahuti. 9 daughters. After 9 daughters, so he said that I'm going to leave now. Kardamoni said, I'm going to leave. No, you can't leave. Daughters, you need to get married. And then at least I need to have a son. If you leave home, I need one son who can look after me. So Brahma came and advised that these 9 daughters should be given to 9 sages. They got married to 9 sages. And then Supreme Personality of Godhead, Krishna, entered the womb of Mother Devahuti as Lord Kapila. Yes? Prema Bhakti, you are okay? So she gave birth to Lord Kapila. And then after Kapila was born, Kardamuni, then he approached Lord Kapila and offered obeisances. Although Kapila was his son, he offered obeisances and took permission, and he left home for the forest. So he just, and then now Devahuti stayed at home with his wonderful son, Kapila. And we all know that she was a princess. Yes? One might think that, for a princess and having such a wonderful mansion, they don't have any problems. So, Mother Devahuti asked inquired number of things from Lord Kapila. And there are number of questions. Maybe we can do one seminar on that. But now we don't have much time, but we'll get the essence from that discourse, from that teachings. So what's her first question was? Although she was a princess, and she had Supreme Personality of Godhead as her son. What's her first question was, she said, "My Lord, I'm sick of this material life. The senses are always disturbing me. Always disturbing me. They never get satisfied. I'm always sick of this materialistic condition. Senses are always disturbing me. And I am in a concept of aham and mameti. I think I am this body and everything around me belongs to me." These are the two questions she put forward. Disturbed by always senses. And secondly, I am thinking I'm this body. Aham mameti. Everything belongs to me and I'm this material body. As a result of that, I'm suffering. But how can I come out of this conception? That everything belongs to me and I am this body. This was the question asked by Princess. Just imagine, don't think that just because one has wealth, one has very high parentage, one is free from the miseries. For people, ignorance is bliss. But she had that knowledge. She had that knowledge to ask that such a wonderful question. And Lord Kapila, he tells, "My mother, thank you for asking that wonderful question. The answer to your question is one has to practice Adhyatma Yoga." What is it? Adhyatma Yoga. Adhyatma Yoga consists of three processes. Sankhya, which is Jnana, or Yoga, mystic Yoga, or Bhakti. So the Adhyatma Yoga comprises of these three: Jnana, mystic Yoga, and then Bhakti. But among these three, Bhakti is the best process. So you perform Bhakti. What is the answer? What was the question? I am always sick of this material condition because I am being disturbed by these senses, and I am in the conception of aham and mameti. Aham means I am this body, and mameti means everything belongs to me. This house belongs to me. My partner belongs to me. My children belong to me. My business belongs to me. My wealth belongs to me. My position belongs to me. This was my conception, and Kapila's answer is, to come out of this conception, you just do Bhakti Yoga. How do you do Bhakti Yoga? He says, it tells, Prasangam ajaram pasham atmanaha kavayo vidhu sayeva sadhushu kruto mokshadvaram apavrutam. He says, my mother, the best way to practice devotion is this way. Every living entity has got some attachment. Currently, they are transferring their attachment to the material things. But the same attachment, if they transfer to the sadhus, it will open the door of liberation. Everybody got it? We are at a T-junction. One path leads to bondage, the other path leads to freedom. And if we want to choose the path of bondage, we have to attach to material things. Repeated birth and death. But same attachment, you can't give up your attachment. inherently we got the desire, yeah, we got the tendency. Prasangam, sangam. Prasangam means that's the attachment, very much attachment. We got that tendency. So simply transfer your attachment to sadhus. That will open the door of liberation, freedom. And he tells that hear from saintly people. Always hear from the saintly people. Prasanga, satam prasangan mama virya samvido bhavanti vrutkarna rasayana kataha tajjoshanadashva apavarga vartmani shraddha ratir bhaktir anukramishyati. Just simply hear from saintly people. Always hear from saintly people. When you hear, it becomes a rasayana katha. Chemical, it becomes a chemical. Hearing is a chemical. That chemical will destroy all the unwanted things in your heart, and thereby eventually you will get Shraddha, faith. Shraddha, Ratir, means attraction towards the Lord. Bhakti, ultimately devotion. Three things, they naturally come. They don't come overnight. Krama. Shraddha Bhakti, Shraddha Ratir Bhakti Anukramishyati. Anukramishyati means slowly, one by one, in due course. It takes time. Yeah? But the main thing is hearing from the saintly people. Satam prasangan mama viryo samvido. Hear about me from the saintly person. Yeah? So, and then in this chapter, we come here now. He explained so many things after that, but here in this particular chapter, devotee asked, I want to know more details on bhakti. Please describe me in detail, both for me and for people in general. The process of devotion. Of course, this is another question. She asked 3 questions here. But here, now I shall request you to explain the path of devotional service, which is the ultimate end of philosophical system. She wanted him to explain the devotional process. More details. And devotee, addressed Lord Kapila as Yoga Bhaskara in this text 5, you see. Yoga Bhaskara. Yoga Bhaskara. Bhaskara means sun. Yoga means linking oneself to the Lord. So Yoga Bhaskara. So you illuminate the darkness of conditioned life of the living entities. So although there is light in this world, but there is darkness in our heart. That's why we need some internal purification. So you are like Yoga Bhaskara. You are giving this knowledge. With this knowledge, you will illuminate everyone within and without. So please explain me in detail the devotional service. Yeah. And Lord Kapila tells that, O noble lady, there are multifarious paths of devotional service in terms of different qualities of the executor. So there are multifarious paths of devotional service. There are various paths depending on the executor mood. Depending on the performer, the devotion can be of different type. Although the devotion is pure, but depending on the performer, executor, the devotion can be in different types. So the first type, devotion in ignorance. Devotion can be performed in ignorance. Yeah? Okay. Read Shankar Prabhu. Text 8.
Devotional service executed by a person who is envious, proud, violent, and angry, and who is a separatist is considered to be in the mode of godless.
Yeah. So they worship the Lord, but they have these qualities. They're envious of others. They're proud of their whatever they possess. They're violent. They're very angry. And they still worship the Lord. This is the intention also. While worshipping, they still have these qualities. So that kind of devotion is called devotion in ignorance. Prema Bhakti Prabhu? Okay? Not everyone who worship the Lord on the highest platform. Yes? Please listen, and we will read a little paragraph here. Maybe Shailesh Prabhu, you can read this paragraph here.
One who approaches the Supreme Lord.
No, because it will go on the YouTube. Use it.
Hare Krishna. One who approaches the Supreme Lord to render devotional service, but who is proud of his personality, envious of others, or vengeful, is in the mode of anger. He thinks that he is the best devotee. Devotional service executed in this way is not pure. It is mixed and is of the lowest grade. Tamas. Srila Vishwanatha Chakravarti Thakur advised that a Vaishnava who is not of good character should be avoided. A Vaishnava is one who has taken the Supreme Personality of Godhead as the ultimate goal of life. But if one is not pure and still has motives, then he is not a Vaishnava of the first order of good character. One may offer his respects to such a Vaishnava, but he has accepted the Supreme Lord as the ultimate goal of life. But one should not keep company with a Vaishnava who is in the mode of ignorance.
Prema Bhakti Prabhu, you okay? Getting deeper? No, it's good. So we understand that this is the detailed explanation of devotion. Yeah, this purport is very nice here. So he renders devotional service, but is proud of his personality, envious of others, vengeful, and he thinks he is the best devotee. Yes. That person thinks I am the best. I can't learn anything from anyone. Everybody should learn from me. I am the best. Because that person's knowledge is not deepened. Yeah? And he says this is the lowest grade. We can offer from a distance. Even in the nectar of instruction, there is verse, na? What is that verse? How does it begin? How does it begin? 3 types of devotees, no? Krishneti yasya giritam manasadriyeta dikshasti pranati bhiksha bhajantamisham. So one who has just started worshipping the Lord, but is not fully matured in his devotion, for that person, how should we treat? We just offer obeisances. Here also he said, one may offer his respect to such a Vaishnava because he has accepted the Supreme Lord as his goal, but we should not keep company of such a Vaishnava. Understand? Clear? Shailesh Prabhu? Fully clear? We'll offer dandavats from a distance. That's it, but we don't keep company of such a Vaishnava. And this is devotional service in a lowest stage or in mode of ignorance. And devotion in mode of passion. They want something out of their devotion always. They look for name, fame, prestige, or wealth. Text 9. They have a motivation of material enjoyment, fame and opulence. Yes, I should become number one. Or my children should become number one. My Lord, I'm worshipping you for that. It's a business deal. They have a motive. So don't think that whoever is worshipping Krishna is the greatest devotee. We have that tendency generally. But we don't know what that person mood is. What that person intention is, we don't know. This is mode of passion. Yes? That is, I think it doesn't need any explanation, I guess. Is that clear? Let's move on to the 10. Devotion in mode of goodness. They want only liberation. They want to free from the bondage of karma. They know, they reached a stage, they know that whatever I am doing is going to bind me. Every action has got equal and opposite reaction. I will be incurred in the karmic reaction. My karma will bind me. So I want to free from these activities. And I want to be liberated. So this is this clear as well? Yeah?
Yes.
Okay, read, Prema Bhakti Prabhu.
Devotional service in the modes of ignorance, passion and goodness can be divided into 81 categories. There are different devotional activities such as hearing, chanting, remembering, worshipping, offering prayer, rendering service and surrendering everything, and each of them can be divided into 3 qualitative categories. There is hearing in the mode of passion, in the mode of ignorance, and in the mode of goodness. Similarly, there is chanting in the mode of ignorance, passion, and goodness, etc. 3 multiplied by 9 equals 27. And when again multiplied by 3, it becomes 81. One has to transcend all such mixed materialistic devotional service in order to reach the standard of pure devotional service, as explained in the next verses.
Shailesh Prabhu is smiling. Oh. Use the microphone.
I'm thinking everything matches.
Everything?
Matches in the sense we have every quality, it's not a quality.
But it is about us only.
I'm categorizing myself, saying, do I have this? We have, one factor. We have everything, to be honest. Little everything. I don't know which stage we are in.
No, don't worry. We will talk about that. But I'm discussing what Lord Kapila is detailing here. These 9 items of devotion we always called Navavidha Bhakti. Prabhupada says they can be done in 81 different ways. Depending on your consciousness, our consciousness. Mixed. Mishrama. So, even in the mode of goodness, they have a desire just to free from the material, miseries, and want to just have liberation. Liberation is like sleeping. My son gives. He likes reading philosophy more than I read. He gives, he heard from a very senior devotee. He gave the example of liberation to be sleeping. When you sleep, you feel misery. There is no misery. Sometimes if you get a bad dream, you will still have misery. Yeah. So liberation is like that. Generally, when you sleep, you feel you stopped all the miseries for a certain time. Liberation is like that. But there is joy in the devotion. They don't know about it. Okay, we have to make progress. So far, okay? Everything clear? Yeah. But don't worry. Whatever stage one may be at, better don't give up. Continue. It will take, we have to understand. No problem. We have to understand. But there is a deep tendency. That tendency, we may have different propensities, different tendencies. We can't get rid of overnight. We can't get rid of them in an overnight. We still have to practice devotion. What is the medicine? What is the medicine? The medicine is only devotion. Even if we fall into one of these categories, at certain times, yes, we still have to carry on. Because ultimately, devotional service will purify us. But we have to understand. We can understand where we are and where others are and what kind of person I should seek the association with. And how is the pure devotion? And this is the fourth level. Yeah? He says here. Madguna shruti matrena mai sarva guhashaye manogatir avichinna yatha gangamba sombhudhau lakshanam bhakti yogasya nirgunasya udhavrutam ahaityuka vyavahita ya bhakti purushottame. Kavita Mataji, would you like to read the translation? Use the microphone, please.
The manifestation of unadulterated devotional service is exhibited when one's mind is at once attracted to hearing the transcendental name and qualities of the Supreme Personality of Godhead, who is residing in everyone's heart. Just as the water of the Ganges flows naturally down towards the ocean, such devotional ecstasy, uninterrupted by any material condition, flows towards the Supreme Lord.
This is the Uttama Bhakti. And in the nectar of devotion, we also have, isn't it, Anyabhilashita shunyam jnana kanma janavrutam anukulyena krishnanushilanam bhaktiruttama. So here, it's a similar thing. Yes, this is naturally attracted, spontaneously attracted, just like our Vrindavana devotees. They don't have anything like, any motive. They just simply love Krishna. They just simply like to talk about Krishna. Always when they do household chores, they sing all the poems about Krishna. They compose poems, Krishna killed Agasur, Krishna killed Bhakasur, Krishna did this, Krishna did that. They will compose their own village poems and they sing. So it is naturally attracted to perform devotion, and that devotion is never uninterrupted. Our devotion gets uninterrupted when there is a problem or when there is something goes, when somebody says something to us, when other devotee misbehaves us or when we misbehave with others. So it is said now, ha haituki ha pratiyata, means uninterrupted, unmotivated. They don't have anything in return. They don't have any motivation out of it. No motivation. They just like to do it. They just like to do it. And it is never interrupted. And the example is given, Gangambaso ambudau. Ganga. Ganga, you see, Radhanath Swami, His Holiness Radhanath Swami gives this wonderful example because he lived on the bank of Ganges for many years. And he used to observe Ganga. Ganga flows towards the ocean and it meets Bay of Bengal at Ganga Sagar. So the flow of Ganga, it doesn't stop. there are sometimes big obstacles. A huge tree falls down in the river. A huge rock comes on its way. Although there are so many obstacles, Ganga just doesn't stop. It goes over, under, sideways, somehow or other, it flows. It flows until it meets the ocean. Just like that. So the example of Ganga, flowing of Ganga is very important. Although there are obstacles, the flow of devotion doesn't stop. And Kunti Maharani, she tells, same thing. Tvayi me nanya vishaya matir madhupate sakrut ratim budbhavata madha gange vaugam budanvati. She gives the same example. Let my mind attracted towards you, just like Ganga flows towards the ocean uninterruptedly. O my Lord, please let my Tvaimenanya Vishaya, my mind should not go anywhere. It only should focus on your lotus feet. Ratim, attraction, let there be attraction towards you. Let it flow like Ganges flows towards the ocean uninterruptedly. Okay, we'll read the last paragraph here. No, we're not reading anything from here. So, and this is a very famous verse. Okay, you can repeat this one after me. Salokya sarshti samipya sarupyaikatvam apyuta diyamanam na grunanti Vinamatsevanam janaha. Are you okay so far? Is it getting bored? No. Okay. You look pretty serious. It's a serious matter. When I read this chapter, I really loved it. That's what I do when I read, and then if I I fall in love with that chapter, I feel like explaining. So I felt there are so many beautiful jewels we can collect from this chapter, and further characteristics of that pure devotion. It doesn't stop, yes, and there is no interruption and no motivation, natural attraction. And further details about that pure devotion. Radhavanu Prabhu, would you like to read this out?
A pure devotee does not accept any kind of liberation. Salokya, Sarshti, Samipya, Sarupya and Ekatva. Even though they are offered by Supreme Personality of Godhead.
There are 5 types of liberation, we all know. 5 types of liberation. Kavita Mataji, this may be first time you are hearing about that. 5 types of liberation. You can go and read this verse in detail. But there are 5 types. We know that Salokya is... Salokya means when you liberate, you go to same planet as the Lord, same loka. You live in the same planet where Lord lives. Salokya. And then Sarshti. Sarshti means having same opulences of the Lord. Opulences, Aishwarya. Who is the example for Sarshti? Having same opulences of the Lord. Dhruva Maharaj. Dhruva Maharaj, he was given which planet? Pole star. Yes? He was given pole star by Lord Vishnu. That Dhruva planet was actually originally known as Vishnupadi. What is the name? Because that's where Kshirodak Sai Vishnu lives. Kshirodak Sai Vishnu. We know Garbhodak Sai Vishnu lives in the ocean within this universe. Kshirodak Sai Vishnu lives actually on the Dhruva planet, pole star. It's his planet. Dhruva wanted kingdom greater than his great-grandfather. Yes? Who was he? Brahma. So he wanted a kingdom greater than Brahma's kingdom. So Lord said, I can't give, I'll give my own kingdom. Take it. So he awarded Dhruva planet, pole star, Kshirodaksai Vishnu. He lives there, all the full of opulences. And that's why all the 7 stages, they rotate, they circumambulate this pole star. Because Lord Vishnu, Kshirodaksai Vishnu stays there. You know that? You know the 7 stars, they circumambulate the pole star. Okay, so Sarshti. Sarshti means having same opulences of the Lord. Samipya. You will live close by Lord. Wherever Lord is there, you live close to Him. Sarupya. You will attain the same form of the Lord. Jay and Vijay, you see when you look at them, they look like the Lord only. Apart from Srivatsa and a couple of other differences. Srivatsa is special to the Lord. But mainly if you look at it, they look like Lord Vishnu. Sarupya. Ekatva. Ekatva means merging into the existence of Brahmajyoti. That is spiritual suicide. Devotees never aspire for this kind of liberation, merging into the existence of the Lord. It is considered as a spiritual suicide. It is called spiritual suicide. The other 4 may be obtained. But here what he says, even though they are offered by me, they don't want it. They do not accept. Vina matsevanam jana. If there is no service, they will not accept even the 4 kind of liberation. Anyway, the 5th kind is nobody is going to accept. Are you with me? Am I complicating? Yeah? Vina matsevanam janaha. Without my service, they don't want anything else. Even if wherever, even if 4 types also they will accept, only they will only accept when there is service there. Otherwise, they will not accept it.
There's a no leaf, tulsi leaf in kitchen, so we have to offer here.
Yes. So in the Ekatva, there is no, in Sayuja means merging into the existence of the Lord, there is no service. Suicide. Yeah. So they want only service. That's why Chaitanya Mahaprabhu says, Nadanam najanam. How does it begin? Nadanam najanam nasundarim kavitam va jagadisha kamaye mama janmanishvare bhavatad bhaktiravaitu kitvaye. I don't want a beautiful woman. I don't want number of followers. I don't need wealth. I only want to be servant of your servant. Service is very important for devotees. Without service, they don't accept anything. Even if this is the pure devotee. Yes? Okay, Shailesh Prabhu, you read this last one. You okay, or are you feeling sleepy?
No, I'm not sleepy. I'm
Thinking? Because it's too deep or what? It's not. You might not have heard these details before, but you'll enjoy it. Read it.
A pure devotee does not accept these 5 kinds of spiritual existence, even if they are offered, and he certainly does not hanker after material benefits, which are all insignificant in comparison with spiritual benefits. When Prahlad Maharaj was offered some material benefit, he stated, "My Lord, I have seen that my father achieved all kind of material benefits, and even the demigods were afraid of his opulence. But still, in a second, you have finished his life and all his material prosperity. For a devotee, there is no question of desiring any material or spiritual prosperity. He simply aspires to serve the Lord. That is his highest happiness."
Yeah, but don't worry, wherever you are, no problem. First of all, we have to understand at least where we are. And sometimes, ignorance is bliss. The one that we are doing is the best. That is big danger. There is no room to improve. That's the danger. At least understand where we are. That's okay. That's okay. No problem. Just, pray the Lord. Only by devotion we can eliminate all other motivations. So here Prabhupada gives a wonderful example. Narsingh Dev asked Prahalad, ask for a boon from me. What boon I want? You see, my father, he had all the opulences. All the demigods were scared of him. But you finished everything in a split of second. You want me to ask a boon? What is the use of such boon that will disappear at any second? I've seen practical example from my own father. I'm your servant. You are my master. I just simply like to serve you. This is the highest stage of devotion. Any questions so far? Any realizations? Because, it appears to be little... I thought you would all enjoy, but you all became little serious. Yeah, serious.
What is separatist?
Separatist means different intention. Separate from the Lord. If my intention in line, we have to check whether my intention is in line with the Lord's intention. What is Lord's intention? Lord's intention is simply to love, to serve. A separatist is mainly what is there in it for me, On the other hand, we have to just serve the Lord and His devotees. Our interest should be. We should not be the center, but the devotees and the Lord should be in the center. Okay? Any point so far? Anything anybody want to comment? Everything is clear so far? What is Yoga Bhaskara? Prema Bhakti Prabhu? What is Yoga Bhaskara? Yes, sunshine. Yoga is the best sunshine. Yes, devotional service is the best sunshine. Yoga Bhaskara. And how many levels of devotees we are talking about here? 4. In ignorance, in passion, in goodness, and above goodness. Uttama Bhakti. Okay. And he says that by attaining the highest platform of devotional service, I have explained, one can overcome the influence of 3 modes of material nature and be situated in the transcendental stage. Okay, so he had given the details of the devotion. Now, Lord Kapila tells that how can one get there, get to the highest platform? Yeah, this is the question, isn't it? We all have. Yeah. So, okay, I'm not there yet, but what can I do to get to the best level? Anybody would like to answer? By surrendering to spiritual master. Mm-hmm. Hearing and chanting. Follow regulative principles. There are rules and regulations. There are 2 types of bhakti. Spontaneous means natural attraction, and then sadhana bhakti. We have to force ourselves to act in devotion. Just like, today I didn't want to get up at 4 o'clock, say for example, but I am forced to get up. I didn't want to come and offer Arati, but I'm, some or other, by Radha Vinod Prabhu's mercy, put me on the rota for first Saturday. So I'm forced. And the devotees come here, I'm forced to speak, forced to take bath. Regulation, forced in the sense we are not naturally interested, but we will have that daily schedule. Although we don't love that so much, but we still have to do it. How many of you love chanting 16 rounds? You love chanting 16 rounds? Wow, whatever. Good. I don't love very much, to be honest with you. So, yes, because spiritual master ordered sadhana bhakti. It is not spontaneous. We have to make sure we do that way. And can you put this light on and see? Yeah.
I was thinking on that motivation part. Motivation part. There is, even if we try to eliminate that motivation, at the end result, there is motivation.
There is a motivation
Okay,
always.
Categorization of motivation can be different.
Yeah. Yeah.
Now, we don't want this and that, but still, why are you fasting? There is still a motive in that. Because it gives a sukriti or whatever, it's burning your. So there is a motive. It's not nothing. It's
Yeah.
why are we coming to Krishna consciousness? He is the Lord. There is a motive. No, we are surrendering to Him because He is the Lord. So there is somewhere a motive as per me, as per my
No,
mindset.
true.
Everything I am doing, if I try to take out the motive, but there is some or the other, there is a motive. Maybe some of the motives are on a better motive than the other, but there is always a motive. So I was also thinking the question which you said, no, how can we come to that plane? Which looks very impossible because it's always motivated in some terms.
Yeah. It is said, akamaha sarvakamova mokshakama udharahi tivrena bhakti yogena yajeta purusham param. Have you heard this verse? No? No. You can note it down. Akamaha sarvakamova. Whether you are akamaha. Akamaha means you do not have any desires. No kama. Akamaha. Akamaha sarvakamova. Whether you are full of desires. Whether you have no desire, or you are full of desires, or whether you are desiring liberation. 3 types. Akamaha, sarvakamova, mokshakama. Tivrena, bhakti yogena, yajeta purusham param. Whichever category you fall into, you must worship the Supreme Lord with strong determination. Tivrena. You know the word tivra? Sanskrit, tivra. Tivra, strong determination. Whatever it may be. But worship the Supreme Lord. Lord will purify us. We may come with a slightly, because due to our conditioning, yes, it is not possible. But Lord, don't leave the path. Lord will purify us. What is the remedy? The remedy is devotion only. The remedy is devotion only. Always devotion only. There is no other remedy. But always it is said, that's why, that the main process, main element is satam prasangan mamavirya samvido. It's always hearing from the saintly people. Always hearing from the saintly people. Say for example, Sumed, he heard this from someone. Every day he listens to Prabhupada lecture, minimum 20 minutes, make notes. He might hear from anyone, like he might hear from me, might hear from Lalita Preeti or someone else. But he heard from someone that you must hear from a pure devotee every day. So we don't have many pure devotees around. Then all senior devotees, they hear Prabhupada. Makes notes, 20 minutes. So main thing is hearing from the pure devotee on a regular basis and reading. And whatever motives are there, we have to spiritualize our motives, rather than, say for example, I have a motive of buying a big house, at least, invite devotees on a regular basis, feed devotees nicely. And if my son wants to be a great person, then, make sure that he engages in the service of Prabhupada, he preaches Krishna Katha to the world. Spiritualize these desires. And, I mentioned many times, if you have a nice car, just, that is okay. If you are a good devotee, people get attracted to your opulences. And you trick them. So the only process, whatever it may be, we have to still carry on our devotion. But again, that's why Prabhupada given a schedule. We don't follow that schedule. Like, Prabhupada said that you get up in the morning, do Mangala Arati, Tulsi Arati, chant your rounds, hear Srimad Bhagavatam. That's the morning business. And then after that, you do everything. And in the evening, you read Bhagavad Gita. When there is a family together, a little bit of Kirtan. But this, Prabhupada said that this Mangala Arati is very important. Very, very important, Prabhupada said. If you do on a regular basis, you will overcome, you will come out of... Why we have those motives? Because of the influence of the three modes. Isn't it? We will, the more we are influenced by the three modes, the more we have the motives. But if we practice the devotion, especially the Mangala Arati is very powerful. Very, very powerful. And why we are reading Krishna book in the morning, 6 o'clock? Because it's important. Every day we read that. So Prabhupada said many times that if you attend Mangala Arati, you will come to a different level. You will come to a different level. So we have to do that. And
Mangala Arati should be every day.
every day. Not for, as they say, dog is not for Christmas, for life. But, Mangala Arati is not for only one day, first Saturday, second Saturday. It is for life. It is for life. Anything else, Shankar Prabhu, you want to add on that?
Yes, we will
Everything?
hear more.
That's okay. So far is okay. Yeah. So my understanding to your question is, to be honest with you, that we are not fully following the process given by Prabhupada. I can say myself, I don't know, I can't talk about you, but I can improve a lot. I can improve. There is a huge room. There is enough room for me to improve. That's what I feel. Yes, Kavita Mataji.
No, I was thinking about sadhana bhakti and natural bhakti because for last 10 years I was doing like natural bhakti. I was not guided and I was not able to come to ISKCON regularly. But now I am coming to know about sadhana bhakti. I don't know how much I progressed. Maybe I didn't progress in last 10 years. But which bhakti is better? I mean, sadhana bhakti should be helping us more to progress.
Right. See, bhakti. So you were telling me that which is better. For ours, we are not at spontaneous level. So we have to force ourselves to do these activities. We have to follow the sadhana bhakti. Getting up in the morning, attending Mangala Arati and offering puja, reading Bhagavatam, associating with the devotees and devotional service, reading and preaching to others. We must do this, Prabhupada said. By doing this, you get, now like, do you enjoy the materialistic party or the spiritual party? You like to come here. That's natural for you. In the beginning, 25 years ago, it was not the case. But now, rather than you enjoy outside, you like to enjoy with the devotees, naturally. So the more we do this, the more we get mercy. The more we, we'll be able to get the mercy of the Lord, and we get attracted. Whatever you do more, you get addicted to that. You get attached to that. Okay, so we have very little time. But there is so much, but I'll condense. Okay. Regularly performing one's devotional service without excessive violence. There is violence everywhere. Even when you are cooking, there is a violence. There are microbes in the water. There are microbes on the stove. You walk on the floor, but you should minimize the violence while performing devotion. Seeing, touching, worshipping, praying, and offering obeisances to the deity. Okay? This is another item of devotion. Regularly, it should be there. Seeing, touching, worshipping, praying, offering obeisance to the deity. And offering obeisances to the seniors. Offering respect to the seniors. Offering respect to spiritual master. Chanting the Lord's holy names, arjavam, straightforward behavior, no duplicity. Association with the saintly people, giving up false ego, respecting the spiritual master and previous acharyas, showing compassion to all the living entities, being friendly to one's equals, hearing about spiritual matters. So Prabhupada has given us everything, basically. Lord Kapila is still just repeating. Prabhupada said everything, they say that ABCD. What is ABCD?
Association.
A for association, devotee association. B for book reading. C for chanting.
D for deity worship.
Deity worship or diet prasadam. And if you do A, B, C, D, E, you will get E. Ecstasy. Ecstasy. So, simple formula. Just we have to follow it. That's why we have to have a program. Basically, we don't have a program. If you don't have a program every day, what we're going to do? We have to make a program. Say, for example, every Thursday, I do Bhagavatam in Sangha group. I'm forced. Sometimes I want to skip. Throughout the day, I'm very busy. But that day, somehow or other, I'm forced to, at least spend 2 hours reading before I come to the session. It forces me. So we have to do such kind of things. Just giving an example once. So we have to have a schedule. In that schedule, these items should come. And Kapila Dev gives an example air carries aroma from the flower to the nose. Yeah? Air is the vehicle. All these items, they act as vehicle. And they carry our mind to the Lord's lotus feet. Understand? Our mind should be focused on the lotus feet of the Lord. But when we do this, it acts like an air. It carries somehow or other. It carries the mind to the lotus feet of the Lord. And to progress in devotion, to advance in devotion, one must avoid offenses. We read 10 offenses of the holy name. And the first one is, do not blaspheme the devotees who have dedicated their lives to propagating this Krishna consciousness, Vaishnava Aparad. That's the biggest offense. It's a mad elephant offense. So, if we want to progress, we have to do the favorable items. Those are favorable. Anukulasya sankalpa, pratikulasya vivarjanam. Accept the favorable, reject the unfavorable. All these items that we described now are favorable. Now, not only accepting the favorable, but reject the unfavorable. And the most important thing here is offenses. I'll read out. Never disregard other living entities. Because Krishna says, I am there in everyone's heart. Never disregard. I am present in the heart of every living being as the super soul. If an ignorant person neglect or disregards me in all beings, his worship of the deity is simply an imitation. Is like offering oblations into ashes. No use. Never disregard other beings, because we have to see presence of Krishna in every living being. Second is hatred. We should not, hate other people. And criticism. We must avoid criticizing other devotees. So basically, not only practicing devotion, but at the same time, we must avoid committing offenses. You see, I can see sitting here, I interact with many people. Many people. No patience, no tolerance. They practice devotion, they wear devotee dress, but no, nothing. They're practicing for years and years. When they are put into test, their true color comes out. No patience, no tolerance. So we must avoid the offenses. Lord Kapila says, then only you will be able to progress in the devotion. He says that, the solution is realize the Lord presence everywhere. Yes. And then he gives the gradation of different living entities. There are a number of living entities. We have to have a positive discrimination. We can't treat everyone equally. Yes, we may respect that being is a part and parcel of the Lord, but we should have a positive discrimination. Right? There are gradations in the living entities, in beings. Say first, lowest is inanimate object. And better than that is living immovable entities like trees. If you go like that, then there are humans. Before the humans, animals are there. In humans, there are Brahmana. Brahmana is one who thinks of the Lord. Like that, if you see, ultimately, the highest personality is pure devotee. Although all these are beings and part and parcel of the Lord, we respect them, but we take the association of pure devotees. This is the positive discrimination. With this discrimination, we should take the association of pure devotees. So, it's 9:30. I'll stop there. I'll just sum up. So today we talked about Mother Devahuti and Kapila. Kapila is not different from the Supreme Personality of Godhead, appeared in the womb of Devahuti. Devahuti was a princess, daughter of Swayambhu Manu, who was the emperor of this entire world, who was the first Manu in this day of Brahma. And he handed over his daughter to Kardama Muni. Although he was ascetic, he looked at the character rather than the external behavior, handed over her daughter to Kardama. And they had 9 daughters, 1 son. And after the son was born, Kardama left for practice devotion in the forest. And Devahuti, although she was princess and very opulent, very wealthy, surrounded by all the opulence, she felt that she was being sick of these senses. She said that I am always being disturbed by these senses. And I am in the conception of I and mine. Aham mameti. I think I am this body and everything belongs to me. How can I come out of it? And Lord Kapila said, do devotion is the best medicine. And that devotion should be done by hearing from the saintly people, by associating with the saintly people. Two things, association and hearing from them. That attachment you transfer to the saintly people, whatever you have. If you want to feed 100 people, feed devotees. If you want to have a party, have party with the devotees. If you want to give charity to devotees. Just transfer that attachment to the devotees. And then more details of that devotion is 4 levels. Devotion in ignorance, devotion can be performed in passion, can be performed in goodness, and can be performed beyond goodness. In ignorance, they worship the Lord, but they still have this bad behavior. Envious, they are envious of others, they are still angry, and they are vengeful. They think they are the best devotee. In passion, they want name, fame, prestige. They want something out of their devotion. And in the goodness, they want to free from the karmic reaction, and just want to liberate. But the highest devotion is that, it flows like Ganga without any endurance, and it is spontaneous. Uninterrupted, unmotivated. There is no motivation. They just simply love serving. I don't know how many of you came today thinking that I get something. We just love coming here. We came here today. We do. We do mixture. Sometimes we do spontaneous, some of the items can be motivated. We just came. So unmotivated, uninterrupted, flows like Ganga. Example, remember Kunti Maharani's prayer, it doesn't stop. When we have a little problem, our question is, I am serving the Lord for these many days. Why am I suffering? Why am I suffering? That's the big question we all have. Sometimes devotees have. Why am I suffering? I attended Mangala Arati today. Woke up 4 o'clock. I gave Bhagavatam class. Why am I suffering? So that's why we need to have that patience and tolerance. There are a number of examples. How Prahlad Maharaj was tortured, still he continued his devotion. He never lost his faith. How Pandavas were suffered, yet they never left the lotus feet of the Lord. How Haridas Thakur was beaten at 21 marketplaces, yet he never given up the chanting of the holy name of the Lord. And devotees, they will not accept any kind of liberation if there is no service. Devotees may accept 4 kinds of liberation, but they will reject it if there is no service. Vina matsevanam janaha, always service. When we offer Arati to Tulsi, we say, Seva adhikara diyo. Mother Tulsi, please give me the right to perform devotion. It's opulence. Doing service is opulence. And doing one service for a long time is opulence. Not short time. Long time you are able to do some service means what? You are that like Ganga, flowing like Ganga. So this media service, our Prema Bhakti Prabhu is doing. So many problems comes, but he is still doing it. Doing one particular service for a long time is an opulence. So many problems comes, our mind disturbs, our family members say something, other devotees complain that you are not doing good. And this devotional service should be done, like to get to that level, we have to do the sadhana bhakti. follow the regulative principles of getting up early, chanting, association with the devotees, offering obeisance to the deity, worshipping the deity, reading Srimad Bhagavatam, hearing, and doing other services to spiritual master, whatever he wants. And then while doing this, we must avoid committing offenses. Yes? To anyone, even a non-devotee also. So it doesn't mean that we see everyone equally. No, we have to use positive discrimination. And the best person that we should take association with is devotees of the Lord. This is the process recommended by Kapila Dev. Srila Prabhupada ki jai. Sorry, Prabhu, I took a little bit longer than expected.
You said why are we suffering all the way around. I was listening, I just want to share.
Yeah.
I was listening somewhere and it said, why devotees suffer? Because Lord wants them to enjoy later. So just burn everything now, then you enjoy. So we sometimes see others enjoying, although they are not doing anything. Then Lord's what they are just using their good karmas before later.
But true, but even if others are enjoying, we don't know what is there around the corner.
Nobody is fully.
It's a matter like it's winter and summer season. So when there is happiness, it's only lasts for a little while and then you suffer later on. Easy. It rotates. That is the nature of this world. Maybe you are in the winter phase, that guy in the summer phase. When you look at others, they may be in the summer phase.
But we don't even know if they are suffering or enjoying. We just see externally and say they are enjoying, but from the mind or from wherever we don't know.
Mother Devahuti, she was the daughter of emperor. And you know the whole world, you don't know. Our Bharata Khanda, this planet we are living in, is a tiny fraction of the entire Bhumandala. Sometimes I will tell you this whole thing that's based on the 5th canto of Srimad Bhagavatam. Tiny fraction of the entire Bhumandala. Not to speak of other planets. I'm not talking about other planets. Only Bhumandala. It's only tiny fraction. But in those days when they were ruling entire Bhumandala. We don't have access to other part of the Bhumandala now. She was the daughter of emperor who was ruling entire Bhumandala at that time. She was telling that I'm sick of this, disturbance caused by the senses. She was telling that I would like to come out of this aham mameti concept, I and mine. Ignorance is also bliss. When someone enjoys, you may think that person is enjoying. Ignorance is also bliss. And again, enjoyment. Sumed spoke on Sunday. There are different types. Happiness in passion. In the beginning, it is nectar. Later, it turns to poison. Okay? In the beginning, nectar. You smoke like people like drinking, and then when there is a cancer, lung cancer, it has become poison. Nectar in the beginning, poison at the end. And the ignorance is right from the beginning to the end, it's only poison. Mode of goodness, it appears poison in the beginning. Getting up for Mangala Arati, attending Mangala Arati like a poison. But 9:30 you get puris. It's like a nectar after hearing Srimad Bhagavatam. So this happiness that appears to be nectar in the beginning, poison in the beginning, and appears to be a nectar in the end. That is in the mode of goodness. So all these are in different goodness. Someone is enjoying. You don't know in which mode they are enjoying. But our ultimate thing is, this is the greatest boon. We came to Srila Prabhupada. The lotus feet of Srila Prabhupada, we came. This is the greatest boon. After many Bahunam janmanamante jnanavan mam prapadyate vasudeva sarvamiti saha mahatma sudurlabha. It's very rare opportunity. After many lifetimes, one who is in full knowledge come to the lotus feet of Sri Krishna. Yeah, so I don't know, am I explaining that? We don't know, but they may appear to enjoy. We don't know, how long that lasts for, and which mode it is in. We don't know. Sometimes we are, why Ekadashi? Why should we fast? Other guys are eating. No, say for example, you might look at and think, I might look at and think, Okay. Anything did we learn today? Anything? Was it okay?
Yes, Prabhuji.
So okay. Shailesh Prabhu became so serious after this class. Huh?
I keep on thinking that's the reason you.
That's why you should hear more. You think. If you don't hear and read, you don't think more. Natural. Yes, Mataji. You're saying something.
In about 9 offenses told,
10 offenses.
10 offenses.
Yeah.
What are they? Because we discussed 4, I think.
We did not discuss in detail these offenses, but there are other things. Yeah, in the book you can find out. I've just generally mentioned that we should not disregard, we should not hate other devotees, we should not, we should respect all other beings, including devotees and non-devotees. So we should not think, we are the best devotee. But service, remember that one verse, service. Without service, devotees do not accept even liberation. If you are doing service, you are liberated, more than liberated, Baba. Prabhupada said, what do I do? If you go to Vaikuntha, what do? You do service. Whether you are doing it here or there, it's the same thing. Lakshmi, she looks so beautiful. She cleans the marble walls, polishes, cleans. That's what she does. This we read in the description of Kingdom of God, chapter 15 of 3rd canto. Even Lakshmis in the spiritual world, they would like to offer menial service. If you are doing here cleaning, it's the same thing. Prabhupada said. Srila Prabhupada ki jai, Nitai Gaura Premanandi, Hari Hari Bol. Gandhara Srimad Bhagavatam ki jai, Ananta Koti Vaishnava Vrinda ki jai. Gaura Bhakta Vrinda ki jai. Sorry, Prabhus, it took a little bit longer than anticipated. I wanted to finish at... No, I thought, I wanted to tell the little background as well, Karda Muni's story and everything. So, was it okay? But
Spend a whole day also here.
no.
Stories, we like.
Yes.
That's the
The
natural inclination.
that's why